The night English spoke to me. It was a small house. The lights were soft. Outside the windows, the trees moved slowly in the wind. Inside, Pacindu sat at a little table. He was alone. The house was silent. But it was not a sad silence, it was a good silence. He liked it sometimes. He opened his notebook. On the page, the words, "Learn English today," were written in big letters. He smiled. "Okay," he said to himself. "Let's learn." There was no teacher, no friend, no class. Only Pacindu, his notebook, and his dream. He started with small words. He wrote them again and again. Then he made short sentences. The cat is happy. I read a book. I sleep at night. He read them aloud. His voice was slow but strong. I sleep at night, he said. Suddenly he felt something strange. It was like the room was listening. Like the words were dancing in the air. Pacindu laughed. What a feeling! That night he kept learning. He didn't feel alone anymore. After a week, Pacindu was learning every night. He spoke with the mirror. Hello. My name is Pacindu. I live in Sri Lanka. He smiled at his own reflection. His words were still simple, but they felt like magic. One night he looked outside. The sky was full of stars. He imagined the stars were words. Each star was a new word waiting to be learned. Friend. He whispered to the stars, I want to learn all of you. And maybe one day write stories in your light. It was a funny night. Pacindu sat in his old chair and said, You listen to me every night, chair. Do you know English now? He laughed at himself. But then, something strange happened. In his mind, the chair replied, Yes, Pacindu, I know your words. You say them with heart. You learn because you love. Pacindu blinked. Wow! Maybe he was talking to himself. Or maybe learning made his thoughts alive. He wrote in his notebook, Even chairs listen when you speak with love. One night, Pacindu fell asleep at the table. He dreamed he was in a land called Engliscia. Everything there spoke English. The trees said, hello. The rivers said, good morning. The birds sang simple songs. You can learn. You can grow. You can be bright like a star. Pacindu walked through the land. Every step he took, he learned a new word. A wise tree told him, English is not just a language. It is a bridge. It takes you to new places. Pacindu said, I will build my bridge leaf by leaf. One evening, Pacindu felt tired. His words felt slow. He made mistakes. He forgot spellings. He stared at his notebook. Can I really learn? Silence filled the room again. Not the good kind. This silence felt heavy. He thought about giving up. Then he looked at the wall where he had written, One word a day is still a journey. He breathed deeply. I am not perfect, he said, but I am trying. That night he learned just one word, strong. And he knew he was. Pacinda didn't know his neighbor, an old uncle, often heard him talking to himself in English. One morning the uncle smiled and said, "You speak English now. I can hear your voice each night." Pacinda was shy. "I'm just learning." The uncle said, "Yes, but learning is speaking. And speaking is shining." He gave Pacinda a small radio. "Listen to English songs. They help." That night, Pacinda listened to a song. The singer said, "Don't be afraid to begin. The world speaks to those who dare." He wrote it in his notebook and smiled. Pacinda's notebook was no longer empty. It was full of words, sentences, dreams, doodles, and lines of songs. He called it My English Friend. Sometimes he wrote stories. Short stories about cats and clouds and cups of tea. One day he wrote, "There was a boy who lived in a quiet house. He learned English not with books, but with hope." And he paused. "Wait," he thought, "that boy is me." And that house was never quiet again. It was full of words. After many weeks, Pacinda's English became smoother. He still made mistakes, but fewer now. He opened his window and spoke out loud. "Hello world. I am learning English. I am not fast, but I am faithful." A bird landed nearby. It chirped 3 times. Pacinda smiled. 3 chirps mean, "Good job," right? He laughed because maybe English was everywhere now, even in birdsong. His window stayed open every night after that, so his words could fly out and meet the stars. Some people say the end of a story is the last chapter. But Pacinda didn't believe that. He believed every day was a new page. He opened his notebook one morning and wrote, "I started alone. I still learn alone. But now English is my friend." And the house smiled, because every word Pacinda spoke made the walls brighter. And the silence listened, danced, and whispered back,